Hey, what is going on, everyone? It is fantastic to see you again. My name's Grant. I am an English teacher from America, and on this channel you can find tons of free lessons to help you become a better, more confident English speaker and learn about American culture. Today, I have a simple tip that will help you improve your vocabulary and your speaking at the same time. And that tip is to try to avoid using the words very and really all the time. Sure, you can use them sometimes, but if you always rely on that, you won't expand your vocabulary and learn new words. There are tons of adjectives in English that mean very good, very big, very smart, words like that. Today, we're going to talk about a lot of these adjectives. I will explain what they mean and give you some example sentences so you know exactly how to use these in your speaking and in your writing. If you watch this lesson all the way to the end, you will have learned a bunch of useful new words. Let's get started. Here are some words you can use instead of sad. So instead of very sad, you could say depressed. This usually means a long-term sadness. So if someone feels very sad for a long time, you can say they feel depressed. Mike has been really depressed ever since his dad died. Heartbroken or brokenhearted, this is usually about love or a relationship. So Mike was heartbroken when his girlfriend left him or broke up with him. And then devastated or crushed. These are about being sad, but because you're disappointed. If you're incredibly sad and disappointed over something, you can say that you feel devastated or crushed. Mike really thought he would get the job. He was devastated when the company rejected his application. Now let's talk about happy. 3 words you can use are ecstatic, which means very happy and excited. So the kids were ecstatic when their parents took them to Disneyland. Or you could say elated or overjoyed. These both mean feeling joy. Usually these are for slightly more serious situations than ecstatic. For example, my parents were overjoyed during my wedding. Okay, there's a lot of words here. I split good into 2 categories because most of the time you either use good to mean you're skilled and have talent at something, like he's a good baseball player, or it means that you like something and enjoy it. The movie is good. So over here, these are all adjectives you can use to mean that someone is extremely skilled at something. And the most common one is at the top. So great and awesome are probably the most common, and we get less common as we go down, but they're all correct. And then over here, for things you enjoy and like, you can also use great, awesome, amazing, fantastic, and terrific, but you can add fabulous or wonderful. Both of these could be for things that you really, really like and think are awesome. Now the opposite. So for unskilled, for having very low skill at something, you could say terrible, horrible, awful, horrendous, or this one's a little rare, abysmal. If you are abysmal at something, you have no skill at all. You are awful at that thing. And then if you really don't enjoy something, you can say terrible, horrible, awful, horrendous, or dreadful. Here are some words for when something is very large and big. Once again, the most common word is at the top, huge, giant, gigantic, enormous, massive, and immense. These are a little bit less common, but they are also correct and you can also use them. So these words can be used for physical size, like the blue whale is a massive animal, but it can also be used for the size of something that isn't physical, like we had a massive problem at work today. Now how about small? The most common one by far is just tiny. You can say that something is tiny, which means it is very small. This word you might not know. The pronunciation is actually minute. It doesn't sound like minute, so minute. If something is minute, it means that it is very small and not important. My boss makes us review every minute detail at company meetings, so we have to review all the really small, not important things about the company. The next word, microscopic. This is so small that you can't see it with your eye. You need a microscope, which is one of these. Okay, last slide, I just have a bunch of different adjectives you can use for feelings. If someone feels very scared, you can say they feel terrified. And if something is very scary, you can say that it is terrifying. If you aren't sure when you should use ed or ing for adjectives, I actually made a video just about that, so you should watch that after you're done with this. I'll put a link to that up here. Okay, so if you are very tired, you are exhausted. If something is very tiring, it is exhausting. I worked outside in the hot sun all day. I am exhausted. If someone feels very angry, you can say that they are enraged or they are furious. The parents were furious after their child broke the TV. And then if something is very smart, you can say brilliant or genius. The woman came up with a brilliant idea to solve the problem. Okay guys, thanks a lot for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments. Keep studying hard, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.